Texas Government Code, section 551.007. Members of the public may speak on an agenda item during the public communication section of the meeting, or at the time the agenda item is called for discussion by the mayor. Speakers shall be given 3 minutes to speak. The council will not comment on items not on the agenda. However, the council may refer the item to the city staff for research, resolution, or referral of the matter to the council as a future agenda item.
Sir, you want to speak?
Yeah, James Cockrell, I live upon Long Pine Street, and my complaint is, with the retention pond, everything was just pushed right up against the property line in the back. Trees, stumps, all kind of brush. Is something gonna be done about that?
And the answer to the question is yes. Our maintenance man is in the hospital, in ICU in Plano.
But somebody will address it in time. Okay.
Just as quick as we can get back to
Good enough. Thank you.
staff.
When I requested to be placed on the agenda, the email that I sent was to discuss the detention pond and the debris pile that's at the back of the cornering properties that belongs to the city. This is in our backyard, the city's debris. But when I understand there was a time issue, and so when the new agenda got posted, that part was not moved over there, so I'm gonna use my 3 minutes to be respectful that it wasn't on the agenda. The Coopers, spoke with city staff at the September council meeting, and it was written down on a notepad that it would get taken care of then. Then on December, nothing's been done, here it still sits. Then on December 13th, the Coopers again called up to City Hall and asked, and was told, I'll quote, "I'll get Mr. Goodson to take care of it." Still nothing's been done. Then I emailed City Hall on December 17th and was told by the city secretary that they would speak to Mr. Goodson and it would be taken care of the week after Christmas. Today's 1/6, the pile is still untouched. I understand they're all sick right now, but they weren't sick on September 30th. So like, this is unacceptable that the city has just left all this back there, and apparently I'm not the only one having issues with things that need to be cleaned up and taken care of. So I would just like, for y'all to set a reasonable timeline that's maybe, I don't know, maybe less than 3 years, and see if we can't get that cleaned up, please.
Then if there's somebody else, we'll move on to new business. Discuss and possibly take action to approve the sale of clean copy machine no longer in use.
I'll try to find a price for it. I've looked online, a couple to eBay and other places. It's not a real expensive item. We've not used it now in 2 years, and it was still working when we put it up. It just wouldn't do everything that we needed it to do. Amber Cooper has expressed that she was interested, she does a lot of volunteer work, and she would use it in her work, if we, decide what to sell it for. We don't have any ink cartridges for it, but you can still get them. We don't have.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm used to old government copiers.
I just couldn't find one that was, they were similar, but they were only like $299, something, on eBay or whatever, so. But it's just sitting back there right now.
What's it worth to you, Amber? Make an offer.
I mean, whatever,
My thoughts on it was $200. If she's using it for volunteer work, if you, $150, $200 or whatever. I guess you're paying for it yourself since you're doing some volunteer work.
Are you comfortable with $150? I make a motion, we sell it to Amber for $150.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Adam?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor?
Thanks, guys, I appreciate it.
Discuss, consider, and approve Michael Kirby as new board member for EDC. Michael?
I don't have anything to say.
I vote yes. He's like,
Like him already?
I said that 25 years ago, Michael, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I do have something to say about that.
I do, I will, but I don't think I need to.
Yeah.
If I could do, I don't know.
I sit on the EDC, and Michael has been, a great citizen, a great ally. He wants to do great things for the city and promote our economic development, so I'm all in favor of Michael Kirby being appointed as a new board member.
Make a motion.
I make a motion.
A second.
We have a motion and a second.
Aye.
Aye.
And aye.
All ayes, motion passes.
All right, get ready, Michael.
I just saw his head growing.
I don't think so.
That was a joke.
Yeah. Try not to spend all the money in one place that you get
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make Brownsboro a better place for everybody. Just so y'all know, that's my whole goal. Neutralize a lot of conflict and make it a better place for everybody. I think that would be good.
See, you did have something to say.
Well, I have a lot of things I wanna say.
I don't know what that had to do with economic development, but
That's the whole reason I'm on the board, to make Brownsboro a better place.
economic.
Discuss, consider, and possibly adopt a fee for new liquor stores coming to Brownsboro and approved liquor permit application form.
The state has a, you don't have to charge a fee, but if you do, it can be $250 a year. And that's not our new business, that's a separate business form, new business,
So
strictly for liquor,
it could be up
up
to,
to $250 a year,
What do we charge for our new business?
$150.
Okay. So that would be in addition,
Yes.
just separate. I don't wanna discourage,
And 2 of them have already been approved, they're ready to go, TABC has approved them.
well, and the magic number for towns our size around here is 2. So we may have a third one start up, but this area will not support 3
Yeah.
in an area. Maybe before Tyler went half wet, like you saw places like Cooney and, Coffee City that would have, 4 or 5. This isn't gonna be a huge moneymaker for us, right? So, opening up a liquor store costs so much money, I don't know that it matters if we charge the full $250. But also, is that,
You don't have to charge anything, but they regulate, up to $250 a year.
Just our fee is our fee.
If you do just the new business permit, it's $150. So you could do either or just, whatever.
And then, say that last figure, for the state, does it go to state or do we get to keep it?
No, we just keep it.
So what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, if you do both of them.
I don't know, what do y'all think? Here,
Here's my opinion.
okay.
Our basic fee is $150. I'd just say that we'd make the fee for this $150. The $300 fee for that is not that bad.
No, considering just stocking the thing is gonna cost you tens of thousands of dollars.
Well, a stock of liquor store, you're gonna spend between $200,000 and $300,000 just for inventory. If you're gonna do it and try to put in any type.
Yeah.
It's pretty expensive.
So you're saying on top of the $150 business fee, we do $150 for the
Liquor store
liquor store
permit.
fee?
It's a different permit,
That-
stays in.
That doesn't seem unreasonable, it's close to what you were just saying.
I mentioned to that.
Uh-huh.
I said, I mentioned to Adam, $150 for the new business deal and $100 for the liquor license, and that makes $250, which is the max they can be charged for the liquor license, so they still save money.
Be fine. I just think that, that, I can tell you this from being in business, the state of Texas charges the store and our place $750 $770 each 2 years for a health permit. And Henderson County doesn't even have a health department,
Yeah.
so we have to pay to have somebody come out of Tyler once a year. And, we'll get into that discussion, but I brought that up before with the county commissioners, and they don't seem to think there's enough restaurants, grocery stores, eateries to support that, and I don't agree with that. I think there's plenty, but. But I'd say 250 to be fair for the two of them.
I'm good with either one of those amounts.
I'm good with either one, whichever you
So, we wanna be pro-business, alright, so go with the lower one, $100.
We can always raise it later.
Well, that's true, that's true.
All right,
So,
we have a motion,
want.
we have a motion, have a second,
I'll second.
motion second, aye. Adams?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, motion passes. Plus 150 and 100, so it's good.
And you're gonna move number 4 down to the number 9 or number, yeah.
So we'll move down on this. Ms. Cooper?
I didn't realize the time on Friday was 2:30, and I talked to Susan about that, but it was supposed to read, retention pond / Browning Street, for my agenda item. Do you want me to show you?
No.
Okay, okay. I know you were just trying to get it on the agenda.
They told me I had to cut off at 2:30.
Yeah,
And
I just
so I
didn't
was
know
just
that
trying
had
to-
changed, and I wasn't trying to be difficult,
No,
I
you're
just,
fine.
so, now that the pond is done and we kinda had our first rain, I know on our side of the street, we have runoff off of the berm now onto our property. And I didn't wanna bring a computer up here and try to do slide, at least not yet, if y'all wanna see it, I will. But, we have a lot of runoff that's just running down the berm. So the berm that's right there, like, I don't know, what is it, 9-10 feet from the back of our property line, you can see the water running off the berm into our backyard, so we still have a lot of water in our backyard. I know that now, obviously people down west, down Sailors, have an issue because the gate was open.
East. Wait, yeah,
West, I know my directions. And so, we had tried to go out there and close it, like that night that it was raining, and, cause it was open about this much, and the other, like I can't remember which side was closed. One side was closed, the other side was open about this much. We went and tried to close it, and we couldn't, cause there was so much mud already there. And so, after the water had receded off, we went back, well, you can't close it now cause there's mud in the way. So there needs to be, like, I kinda thought the purpose was, hey, it's gonna be closed, and then we'll let some of it resorb in the ground, and then if that doesn't happen, we'll slowly release it. So I'm assuming this was maybe just a kink to work out, I hope. But like I said, we still have an issue in our yard, the water coming off the slope of the berm that goes around the pond. And so, the other issue that we had was, this was done to alleviate, or to try to alleviate the water that was rolling down Browning Street, down the properties from the new construction, through the Kelly's rental property, through the property that, the vacant lot that the Kellys used to own and sold, onto us, and then Miss West, and then across the street. And so, we still have some water that's running down the ditch that was dug. And then there's water that crosses between the old Saunders 2-story house. So hold on here.
That's where the water's catching in.
Hold on, wait. The, south side, no wait. The east side of the street is higher than our side of the street. So the water flows onto our side. So the water is crossing across the road, you can see it, and going into the ditch that was dug before our property. And so
past the entry point of the retention pond. It's after, like, down toward the north.
Babe,
Okay.
let me talk. And so, we still have a large amount of flooding that's, I mean, it was to the back, my dad was here for the holidays, it was to the back of his truck up our driveway. And so here's my issue. We still cannot do with our property what we should be able to do and we used to do. I can't redo my backyard, I can't put in the pool that I had, the pool that we did have, we had to take down because of, it washed out everything underneath it. So even if I were to build a, French drain all the way around our property and down the back of Ms. West's property, where am I supposed to push that water?
Good question.
So our problem is still not fixed. We still cannot enjoy our property.
Well, not gonna disagree with you at all.
So I need a solution to where if I'm gonna spend $100,000 out of my pocket to put in a French drain, I need a place to put the water. And I'm not waiting 3.5 years to do it. I'm not. I tried it nice the first time, I was nice for a year, and I intend on being nice this whole time, because I can't deal with the stress anymore, the stress of getting angry, then getting upset. I can't do it. And so, we need a place, somebody needs to come up with a place for us to push the water. And, you know, I can call TECQ or whatever the place that deals with stormwater runoff, but if we don't have the infrastructure in our town for us to be able to fix our issue, how am I supposed to ever be able to do anything with our property?
How can you sell it?
I can't.
We can.
We have hay bales that are 3.5 years old. I can take those down and let y'all see what happens still, but I'm not going to, cause I already know. I'm out there, you know, it's washed out, the road that y'all redone, it's washed out this much of that road, where you pull up next to the mailbox. So, I mean, I don't have a solution unless, I can't even do anything on my own because I have to have a place to put the water. I can't flood somebody else like what was done to us, because then I'm gonna get in trouble. So that's what I'm asking, is we need a solution. If we were to build a retaining wall, a French drain, whatever, all the way around our property, we need somewhere for it to drain to, so that somebody doesn't sue us for diverting the natural flow of water. Is that something that somebody can check into for us?
Certainly check into it, see what we do. I know we've made a talk with the story, and we've been out there, during the rain, and, we know the water's coming from the east side of the road over to the west side. I think we've got a solution for that, which will divert some more water. But,
I mean, I don't care.
but it'll be,
But then, like I said, we also, now we have the water coming off the back of that berm.
and we've talked to the engineers,
Okay.
I mean, to the people that built that, and, they're looking at it, they're trying to see what they can do. Part of it is we never get a grass growing on it, that'll slow water down as much as anything. But, we are aware of that, and we're looking
But
at it.
the only thing that is gonna help us to be able to do what we had already had estimates and everything to do before the original incident happened, we can't do that until we are safe from the water.
Well,
And that the only way to do that is a French drain. But like I said, we have to have somewhere in the city, sewer to push that into, and there's not a place by us. So that's the solution I need, is where can we have our own engineer and own excavating company come out and do all this stuff for us? But until I have approval to where we can send it, I can't do anything. So if you guys can check into it and let us know by the next meeting, if not, I'll give you to the meeting after that. And if people need to come out, we're there mostly every day, all day. So, thank you.
I am Robert McNally. I have the Howard's old house. Mr. Wise, as you know, I've talked to you several times in the past about this stormwater issue. I have taken it upon myself about a week and a half ago, after like the third storm that's come through since we got this mud hole. I've contacted a investigator over at TCEQ, okay, and found out that the way that is routed into my property is not only illegal, but it is causing more damages. I have approximately 1,200 square feet of my property that I cannot use. It is anywhere from 2 inches up to 18 inches of water sitting on my property. Okay, I'm not the only one that's having the same issue. Along that barrier, along that berm, it's along the backside of my fence, it's all washing down through there. It's washing out my barn, it's washing everything out through the center of my property. Now, I've spoke to you guys, I've come to the meetings before, and so far I'm getting lip service. I'm getting, hey, well, we're trying to figure it out, we're coming up with an idea, we've spoke to this person, I just want results. I want an answer, something definitive, to where we can progress from here versus the typical platitudes. That's all I'm looking for.
When this first started, a couple of years ago, the whole water detention pot, well, the water,
Well,
being
let's
storm.
clarify something.
Yes.
The water has been coming down to that area for 100 and something years.
Yes.
So that part's clear.
The part, there's a bowl at the west side front of my property. Jacob Ashton and Corey and Mr. Gibson all stood in my yard on May the 20th, 2020, and told me that water ran down that back side. That's not my issue. I know that it runs down the back side. The issue is on June 18th, when we discovered that, and I have all the text messages, copies of the discussions here. I texted Susan Carver and I said, did the city do dirt work over by my mailbox? And she said, nope, I think it was Kenny Cowley with his tractor again. And I said, he did not have permission to be on my property. She said, let me ask Jacob, but I think it was him. She had even been to my yard and knew that the water was not wrapping all the way. My whole entire house was not being flooded yet. I reiterated to her that now it's wrapping all the way around. I can't get in or out of it. And I said all the stuff, all the fertilizer and grass seed and everything I put out is gonna be gone. And she said, no doubt, time to talk to an attorney. Sent a video, then she sent me copy and paste of text messages with Linvest, all saying that they were gonna do something about it. This was all in 2021. So like, we've been fighting this and dealing with this, and our yard's destroyed. Like, they told you what, their hindrance is. Every time it rains now, we're trapped inside a moat. We could live with the little pool out front. I never griped about that, not once. I was told about it up front. When another person came onto our property and redug everything, is when it became unacceptable. Susan Carver in a text message here said, the city needs to bring Kenny Cowley for what it's costing us to fix what he caused. We paid to have those streets engineered when the repairs were made, and now we're paying again. It's all right here. So I'm gonna give this to you one more time, because some of you are new on here. When this is the TxDOT Stormwater Management Program. I've given this to Jacob before. They have a wonderful stormwater management program that's free for the city. But the bottom line is, you gotta clean out the ditches. You know what happens when here's what it says, when a municipality fails to maintain stormwater drainage ditches, it leads to flooding in the streets and surrounding areas, property damage, like all those things. The reason why there's no place for the water to go is because the drainage ditches aren't being cleaned out. They're right back here behind City Hall, they're right back here behind City Hall. Like, those are ditches that stand with water in them year round. No wonder nothing can get down here and flow where it's supposed to go. Like, you gotta start somewhere. Like, we gotta fix this. This is, here, I'm gonna give you this. Like, we're beating a dead horse. And people are not gonna, the property values are gonna continue to go down, so the property taxes are gonna continue to go down. Y'all aren't gonna have the revenue coming in from it. And it's gonna end up destroying every property in its path. We've got to do something about the stormwater drainage. And it's not just the detention pond, like, that's a laughing joke for the city of Brownsboro now. Because you listened to someone else instead of someone who knew what they were talking about, and now it's destroying 4 other people's property. Like, it's just unacceptable. We've got to figure out something. And if it ends up bigger lawsuits being brought, then so be it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to do.
Mr. Bunch?
Yes. How are y'all? My little brother. I'm Robert Bunch. I live, I want to say this right here behind Robert. And I'm gonna try not to beat a dead horse, but to echo what they're saying, the water rundown is an issue. You've been out there, you know, we talked about having a plan in place. I didn't really mess with that, you know, trying to lock the time needed, you know, get this taken care of, but still it's an issue. It's running down, it's washing out my back fence. You're right, there's been water in this town that stayed there in sections forever. I knew that when I bought the property. Hell, there was a big ass, it was holding water when I bought the house.
Yeah.
The issue I run into is the problem's now worse. You know my backyard, I got the in-ground pool. It ain't never even come close to my pool. And now we're talking it's within a couple, 2 or 3 feet of my pool. On top of that, my neighbor was out of town. So I wanna, I'm trying to be a good neighbor and check her stuff out. Now she's got the railroad ties right behind her property on the side of her property. This water is coming up over these railroad ties. I think it was maybe 6 inches from her shop there in the driveway, and it was probably a foot away from her AC unit. So there I was in the rain trying to, make sure nothing got up in her house. We know there's an issue. I'm just asking you guys to fix the issue. I'm not gonna sit up here and threaten lawsuits or, I try to keep to myself, I try to keep my yard neat, try to be a good neighbor. I'm just asking you guys to fix the problem.
Before we go to this, last item, we need to go to an executive session for a short period, and we'll go in there.
I go, please. Yeah.